All right, we found Parker McKee from Pillar VC here to talk about what he's seeing in Boston, what he loves about building here. So Parker, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me, Matt. I'm Parker. I spent my whole career on the team at Pillar. We're a seed stage venture fund based here in Boston. We now have an office in London, and we have a growing team in New York. And our whole philosophy has been to do seed investing exceptionally well. And we're all investors at heart, but we think seed's a different beast. It's really, really hard to go from nothing to something. And we've built an incredible group of people, resources, and capital to surround that. And we're happy to be headquartered here in Boston.
Love that. And what do you love about building here, investing in companies? Like, what should we know about what that has been like as you've ascended in your career?
Sure. I think first off, just on Boston, we are uniquely advantaged that in, I don't know what the exact square mile radius is, but there's like the highest concentration of research talent in the world. And it's a walking distance away, and it's not just one lab, it's not just one school, it's hundreds of labs across many, many, many schools. And it's just a never-ending pursuit of where the next great thing's happening. At Pillar, we build a map. I focus on software, so I spend a lot of time in computer science labs. But even just at MIT, there's many hundreds of professors that have dozens of grad students. And so to understand what every single person's working on is a truly never-ending endeavor. So that's one. And then two, Boston's a great place to live. You got the beach an hour away, you've got the mountains an hour and a half away. Like, I don't know where else you're finding that.
It's a beautiful day on Newbury Street. And last question, maybe most importantly, what startups are you watching from your seat at Pillar? What trends are you seeing play out here and beyond that we should all know in the community?
So again, we have a whole biotech team at Pillar. I will let them talk about their biotech work. On the software side, we have some really awesome AI companies here in town. I'll mention a few. All Hands AI is doing code generation fully in the open source. They've got the #1 models right now. There's a benchmark called SweBench where people decide how well an AI model can solve a coding problem. So they're the best in the world at that, right, headquartered right here in town.
Very cool.
We have a company called Simulate that is a bunch of ex-ecom execs that said, wait a minute, the whole world of ecom's changing very, very rapidly with generative AI. And what does the next generation stack for an ecom company look like? And they're building that whole software suite to sell.
Shout out John Andrews and team.
John Andrews and team, that's right. And then there's a handful of incredible AI healthcare companies. You've got Padea Health here, building AI for dentists, Path AI, doing AI for pathologists. The list goes on. And then there's an incredible slew of hardware companies, but I won't belabor the point. And then as far as themes, I'm thinking a lot right now about software companies that don't sell software. And what I mean by that is that if you look under the hood, it's all software engineers. And what they're doing is they're building software that generates a product. So in one case, we're involved in a company that is generating chip designs. So you give it a program and it spits out a chip design. They're gonna sell you a chip, not software for you to make a chip. And the reason I think that's so interesting is that in all of these AI markets right now, you build a market map and you look at, let's do legal tech, for example. There's like 100 companies. So would you rather own a law firm, of which I think there's going to be a lot of winners, there'll be lots of room for law firms, or do you want to be one of the 2 winners that wins software for legal tech? And so I'm spending a lot of time thinking about what are the end markets where you can actually own a full stack company that sells an end utility, not just software. But I do like software companies.
This is Parker from Pillar. A lot of great trends, a lot of great companies, and the density is definitely a winning formula. Thank you so much for joining us.
Awesome, thank you.
I'm here with Zach Jonas. We actually used to work together many, many moons ago out in San Francisco, but we're back in Boston, and we're here to talk about what we love about building here. So Zach, what are you building?
Right now, I'm the Chief Growth Officer of Effie, and we're doing what Canva's done for designers, but for live streamers and video producers.
As a video producer, not yet live streamer, I really appreciate that. What do you love about building in Boston?
The community's great. People like you that are growing the community and shouting out people that are doing some innovative things is phenomenal. The capital providers, the entrepreneurs, and just the ambition, I think is something I love. I haven't seen it in a lot of cities in a long time.
Totally agree with that. And last, what are you watching, whether it's startups or other trends here in the city? You know, what should we be thinking about?
Gosh, I mean, it sounds cliche, but I think AI right now for me is all over the place. I'm using it throughout the day, nonstop, and I think it's really changing everything that I'm doing, from the way that I create pitch decks to the way that we start coding our front end. And I think, Boston locally has so much that I think, it's hard to put my finger on exactly what I'm using these days, but for us, Beautiful AI is something I use for pitch decks all the time. We use Figma a lot to kind of create some our front end development work, and that's kind of what we're working on now.
Zach, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks so much, Matt. Appreciate it.